Hello, you beautiful people. I think most of you already noticed that for the past few days, we've been getting some info related to the units or buffs coming in patch 3.4. Now, it was inevitable that someday we were going to receive a lot of info related to Phainon, and today just happened to be that day. So, in this video, I'm mainly going to go over all the different bits of info that we got on Phainon's kit, like his extra abilities, technique, gacha animations, and all that stuff. While we're already on this topic, I'll also mention a small bit of info which hints at Sparkle getting a new form when patch 4.0 goes live, but that's a topic for the later parts of this video. Before we begin though, as usual, let me just say the disclaimer that everything which I mention in this video is taken from different sources, and it's not set in stone just yet, so take all this info with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's begin without wasting any more of your time or energy. Okay, I have to say, at first I thought Phainon won't be getting that much attention from the developers, because he is not really an anniversary unit like Casta Rice. I will accept though that I was really wrong with this one, because if all the info that we got today is true, Phainon might even be getting more attention put into him than pretty much every other unit released up until now. So, the first piece of information that we have basically tells us that Phainon will enter a special state whenever he uses his ultimate. We kind of already knew he will have a special ultimate based on the old info, and I guess it's pretty much getting confirmed now by other sources. Let me just about something really unique to Phainon's kit though, and he will be the first character in the entire game to have this. So, when he enters this special state after using his ultimate, you know how every other unit only has a total of 2 ability buttons, namely their basic attack and their skills, right? Well, Phainon is kind of a special case because for the first time in HSR, we're actually going to have a character who has a total of 3 ability buttons instead of just 2. We don't really know what this additional button will do for now, but in my opinion, just knowing that they're adding a whole extra ability made only for his special state is kind of exciting. Funny thing is, this also means that technically, Phainon will have more abilities in his kit than most Remembrance units, which is kind of insane considering that they're basically a 2-in-1 unit with their memo sprite. Some people were somewhat confused about his abilities and comparing him to Dan Hung-il because he also has 3 abilities present on the screen, but the 3rd ability button is just for canceling. For this though, the source itself clarified that Phainon just straight up has 3 separate skills, and there isn't anything like a cancel button or something like that. Moving on, we also received a little detail on his animations as well, and I personally think that the description of these animations sounds really flashy and over the top. Phainon will have some transformations in his kit where he grows his wings, and whenever he uses a skill, it will somewhat resemble how Mavwika's charged attack looks in Genshin. To explain this more, because I'm sure some people are curious, just think of his skill as something like this, where he swings his sword in a golden arc. The idea of his overall design is also clearly going to be based on the sun, and he will have a lot of sun god imagery spread across his animations. Mavwika's charged attack is very obviously based on a sun theme as well, so it does make sense for Phainon to have something similar to that. This also nicely contrasts with Maidi, because he has tons of moon and night related themes spread across his design as well. I'm honestly expecting them to go all out on his animations, and he might even have a field effect similar to Casta Rice, which sounds pretty good. His technique is also really special and kind of disgustingly broken, because it instantly kills all the non-elite enemies whenever you use it on them. I know you're thinking that his technique is basically Acheron's technique, but I guess you would be a little bit wrong because generally, I would say his technique is way more broken. So, it does end up killing every enemy upon use, but compared to Acheron's, Phainon's technique also has a pretty big range, somewhat comparable to Firefly's technique. I think just having this technique will make him a must-pull for a lot of people, and personally, I was already planning to pull for him from the start, but all of this just makes it a lot better. Finally, talking a little bit about his best in slot teammate, it's most likely going to be this unit called Zoraidra. If you don't know who she is, I can totally get why, because she hasn't appeared once in the game, and we've only seen a little teaser of her in this particular trailer. We already know she is going to be broken because she will be a harmony unit and has perfect synergy with Phainon's kit. A very reliable source stated that she will be a pure single target buffer who grants her teammates an extra turn after they attack. This is quite literally the best thing ever, because if she actually gives an extra turn, in theory, this will let Phainon extend the duration of his ultimate by pretty big amount. To clarify though, an extra turn and an action advance is not the same thing, and the duration of buffs, doesn't really go down whenever someone gets an extra turn. Overall, I think their synergy will be one of the best synergies in the game, and we will soon get some more info about it as well. Welp, that's all the info that we got on Phainon totally broken down for you. As I promised at the start, let me just tell you that Sparkle will be getting a new form when patch 4.0 goes live. The next planet that we're going to go to is supposedly going to be Japan-themed as well, so I guess it will make sense for Sparkle to get her second form there. This info also comes from one of the most reliable sources that we have right now, so the possibility of it being true is really high. I'm also curious, though, how many of you guys are actually planning to pull for Phainon. Also, if you ended up watching until the end, you might want to consider subscribing as well. With that being said, I just want to say I love y'all and I will see you in another one.